It is 1 year since this 2.5-year-old girl was rescued from her home in Sabor, Baringo South, with the close of death beckoning. One of her sisters died from acute malnutrition the day that she was rescued. The agony of this little one is evident on her skin. Malnutrition had dealt a big blow on Jepto's growth and development, and only a proper meal with high nutrition was her escape route. A year later, a child who could barely move now has a smile on her face as she sits on the laps of her foster mother, Mary Sang, at Sunrise Children's Home.
When the child arrived, early August, she was still at a bad condition. Some of us were so scared. We were afraid that she could not make it.
This girl is among 27% of malnutrition cases in Baringo County, while Elgeyo Marakwet accounts for a slightly higher percent. This is according to a survey conducted in 2019. As they gather under the shed to shield them from the searing heat with children clung on their lapses, one of the mothers here shows them how porridge is made by mixing edible insect-enriched flour with water to make an even paste before bringing it to boil while stirring. These are the scenes one is faced with every Monday in several Kerio Valley villages, as hundreds of mothers congregate to receive enriched food. The area has reported severe cases of malnourished children under 5 years, a situation that has led to a high infant mortality.
Hata brain yake, akili yake tena akakuwa very sharp. Vile tulisikia hiyo uji ya insects ilikuwa ngumu sana. Tulishangaa kwanza, but finally vile tulifunzwa, daktari alitufunza mpaka tukaelewa, mpaka tukakubali.
Malnutrition in Baringo is occasioned by high poverty levels and erratic rainfall patterns, forcing residents to rely on semi-pastoralism, with affording a decent meal among the locals an uphill task.
These are traditional foods that the community has been eating for so many years, but now I think the community is trying to westernize and try to eat the Western kind of food and abandoning our traditions. So actually what we could say is that the solutions that we have for the problems, if you look at food, issues of nutrition, issues of waste management, actually the solutions are actually within us.
It is this sad reality that forced Dr. Caroline Kipkoech, an entomologist from Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, to come up with a greenhouse model to rear and breed edible insects to be used in enriching porridge. According to Dr. Kipkoech, they wanted a sustainable and an effective way of elevating malnutrition in the region.
If you hide it in a common food, for example, porridge now is a common food in Elgeyo Marakwet and it's used by all the children. They know a snack for a child in Elgeyo Marakwet is porridge. So if you add these mealworms into porridge, in a way they cannot see, but they can feel the impact. They can actually get the nutrients.
At the greenhouses, mealworms, crickets and grasshoppers are specifically reared in cages under their ideal conditions to ensure they multiply rapidly as required. After they mature, the insects are fed on vegetables before being placed on a dryer to clean the gut. They are then dipped in hot water to clean their bodies and are then returned to their dryer to ensure they are completely dried.
And then we cry.
The dried insects are then mixed with millet or other food items and ground to powder to make porridge.
We are selling this edible insects because it's a cheap source of protein. The current sources of protein, the eggs, the milk and meat are already very expensive.
Insects are extremely rich in essential nutrients and omega-3, 6 and 9 that boosts the immunity and mental health of a child.
Kwa miezi 3 ambayo imepita tangu watoto wetu waanze kuintroduciwa na hii edible insects ama mealworms, wameendelea kuimprove. Unaona health yao imeendelea kuimprove.
According to UNICEF, 45% of all children deaths are linked to malnutrition. However, there are other devastating side effects of malnutrition on children. This includes increased vulnerability to diseases, developmental delays, stunted growth, and even blindness. WHO's 2016 to 2025 nutrition strategy sees the organization work with member states and partners towards universal access to effective nutrition interventions and healthy diets from sustainable and resilient food systems, with such edible insects being one of the solutions. Dana Rose, K24 for the Health Beat.